if anyone's a sign of the fucking who's like, it's actually something, it's Mr. Fucking, what's it called when you hop on a good train? What's it called?
The gravy train?
Pigeon rider? No.
You're a
bandwagon.
Bandwagon.
Yeah. What do you say, pigeon rider? Is that what you said?
So close, pigeon rider.
You know what I mean?
It's really a hard thing to do.
Yeah, you're a pigeon rider.
Look at that pigeon rider over there.
Oh my God.
Hi, welcome all of our listeners to my first solo podcast. I have circumvented Josh and Dave.
Don't make them turn it off. Don't lie to them. They're going to turn
We're
it
here.
off as soon as they said that. We're here.
It was bound to happen by the 57th, or as I call it, the Randy Johnson episode of
Randy Johnson.
He wore number 57.
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah.
The pitcher, Randy Johnson?
Yeah, he was 6'10".
Yeah, I know he was big.
His
Dude.
nickname
Are
was
you sure
Big-
he was number 57? Dave,
I'm looking it up.
to the Google machine. I don't think he was 57. Doesn't sound right to me.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get rid of him. I thought I did. I thought I stuffed them into a closet, but they somehow scratched their way out. So they're still here. But we're very happy to be back with you. I think that this could be our least worst episode yet. So that's also very exciting. And what more do I say? I'm back in Puerto Rico. I'm using a new microphone today. So if I sound especially husky, you know why. So I have to ask these guys how they're doing. I don't really care. Maybe some of the audience does. Josh, I'll go with you first, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Things are okay. We just went away for this last
Say
weekend.
something. Your answer is always the same goddamn thing.
Well, everything's okay.
Always, I'm doing all right. And then it's like, okay, so let's just skip over that next week.
You want to just skip over that part? What if I'm not doing okay?
Everybody knows now.
What if I'm pissed off? What if I'm pissed off that week?
But then you can say it. Otherwise, we'll assume.
Okay. So I will not say anything unless I have an extreme.
Yep.
Okay, fine.
David, is that fair?
Yeah, I'm all in favor. Yep.
So we went. So the missus and I, my wife and I, went to see one of our favorite comics. First time I ever saw him was Sebastian Maniscalco. You guys ever see him live? You know who he is?
Who's it? Say again?
Sebastian Maniscalco.
No.
You don't know him?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure before.
Got a special?
Oh my God. A special. He's got like 7 of them.
Yeah, on what?
I don't find him funny. Is he the guy that did the movie about his dad?
Yes, but I didn't see that movie. That was a recent movie with De Niro. Dave, I want you to go on, I think it's on Netflix, and there's maybe one on Amazon or whatever, but he's got, no, not right now.
I'll watch a fucking anime right fucking now. Don't give me
No, don't do that.
Don't
do that.
This fucking Zoom.
But
I'm watching the Blue-Eyed Samurai. Excellent on Netflix, by the way.
All right. Is that anime?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we saw Sebastian. Okay. So that's not anime. That was an actual live human being. And he was hilarious, very funny. But he told a story. He said the night before, so he's playing like Atlantic City, like 4 nights this last weekend and then 4 nights again this coming weekend. He's playing a lot of shows. And so we finally got tickets, which were ridiculous. He was sold out like immediately. But he said the night before there was like a 70-some-year-old man who was drunk in the audience. And the guy got up and he thought there was like a fight because then other people started getting up and there was like a big commotion and he's like, what the hell is going on? So he got up, he ran off stage. He's like, I think something's going on. So he runs off stage. He says, I don't know what the hell's happening up there, but you got to fix. Turns out this dude who was hammered throws up on himself. And then the people, and by the way, you know how you are at these shows. You're tight in with the next person. I mean, it's not like you got a lot of elbow room. And the next person starts vomiting, and it's just a chain reaction of vomiting spectators in the.
Was this in
crowd.
Philly that this happened?
Atlantic City. It was
Atlantic
Atlantic City. Yeah, at the Borgata, and it was absolutely hilarious. I could only imagine if I was there and that happened. It would have been awful. I mean, what do you do?
I don't understand this. He's telling a story of a story.
Yeah, he told the story of what happened the night before.
David, this isn't a worthy story of story. A story of story bar is really, really high.
I'm just
a
telling
story
you.
bar
Right.
is a little lower. But
I'm gonna call timeout. I'm gonna call timeout.
You are belligerent today.
This is
very
what's happening
belligerent
right now. Before we started the podcast,
Yeah, go ahead. Please fill them in.
Omar was telling us how he's getting feedback that Josh is too acerbic to Omar, right? Was it too caustic?
First he said rancid. I was too rancid.
Too rancid,
yeah,
right?
Which is not the right word.
Josh.
Yeah.
So this is what's happening. He is now trying to even the scales here.
I think that's exactly
That's not
right.
true. David. Okay, wait. What Joshy just said.
Yes. Listen,
Okay.
it's not my topic.
Was it not technically a story of a story?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, what
In fact,
these things are.
In fact, it's a story of a story of a story. Because he was telling the story of the story, and then I told the story of him telling the story.
At what point does it stop?
Right?
Probably one more level. Probably someone who hears
this
this
is like
says,
me watching like a Chris Rock special and telling it's I don't understand what are we doing here?
We do that all the time, right?
this is what we do here.
Yeah.
You asked me how I'm doing. I told you what I did, and then I told you something that
I'm
happened
not
that I
averse.
thought was pretty interesting.
I am not averse to a story of a story of a story, not with you, but the bar. See, this is the problem, and our listeners know this, and I'm sure some of them have already tuned this shit out.
They tuned
worry
out
about
as soon as you said I'm flying solo tonight. They tuned out, so they might not be hearing any of this.
David, how are you doing?
Well, so I have a story of a story, but actually this is a story that happened to me, but it's about a comedian. This week, and I'm doing good.
There you go.
My story that happened to me personally is I went to see Jerry Seinfeld and Jim Gaffigan in concert.
Oh my God,
together.
Awesome.
All right, so Omar,
What?
is this going to be okay? Tell me to stop me at any point that this is no good. But here's the problem.
That's like a dream show, by the way. That is
it's not.
It's not?
No, it's not. Because, first of all, when you get the two of them together, they're going to play in a big venue, right? So we ended up at the Enterprise Center, which is where the St. Louis Blues play. So it's a big stadium, right?
Yeah, right.
So we go in, and I didn't have great tickets. I got them late, so we're kind of like mezzanine level. It wasn't like nosebleed seats, but it was pretty high up.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, I was like, it's really important that you can hear the words that they say. And, I can understand we're in this venue for music and you can get the gist, but for a comedian, I wonder if I'm going to be able to hear everything they say, because this is going to be
able to,
right? No.
What?
We heard about, I kid you not, I think I understood, and part of it is me. The normal person may be at 90%, but I know it's not 100%. But because my hearing, I think I heard 80% of what they said. Because it was, the speaker system just isn't good in a big stadium.
Do you think that you had particularly bad seats?
It could be. I mean, if I was right up front.
But here's my issue. Okay, who are these comedians? These fucking guys?
You never hear of Jerry
Two
Seinfeld?
up-and-comers, yeah. Seinfeld and Gaffigan.
Oh, Jerry. Okay.
Right.
You haven't heard of these two?
Yes, I know Jerry.
You know Jim Gaffigan? He's pretty famous as well.
Yeah, I don't find them to be particularly interesting, but my point is that if I was ever in that role as a performer, right?
Yeah.
I would make sure that there was not a bad seat in the house. And I bet you, I don't know about this Gaffigan character.
He's great.
But I bet you, Josh, you think everyone's great, okay?
He is great.
He is.
Love him.
So,
yeah.
He's awesome.
I don't love everyone. Gaffigan's very good.
I bet you that if you wrote Jerry Seinfeld a note or an email, and he knew that this was your experience, he would not only would he give you a tickets to a future show, but he would actually never play a show in that stadium again.
I'm going to try that. Now, how would you think I go about doing that?
Okay, here's what you do. I already know what you do.
I'm writing my note. Write email to Jerry.
Yes.
Jerry S. I'll put
Jerry S. Jerry S.
Okay. So,
you're going to send it to his press secretary or his
Instagram.
He's not going to pick up on that.
Yeah, you think?
You guys,
You have
You
to go
guys
on his
are
website and find out who his publicist is. And
You
send
think
it
that's
to them.
on there? I
Yes.
can't just do
You know what's sad?
jerry.seinfeld@gmail.com. You
I don't
that'll
think that's
Yeah,
going to
yeah. I
work.
tell you what's sad about this whole moment that we're having. I'm
Yeah.
actually giving you some legitimate, constructive,
I love it.
guidance here, and it's nothing but mocking.
No, it's not.
Like Jerry S. The fuck was that shit?
Where have you been for the last 56 episodes? This is what we do. So
Listen.
no, I'm taking your advice. I want to reach out. I'm going to tell
I
him.
want you to do it. You know,
I think it's
my
good
friend
advice.
Julie wanted to get married in Rome, and they have a very strict rule around only if you're like from the Catholic Church.
What does this have to do with anything
My
Dave is talking
point
about?
is, my friend Julie sent a note to the Pope.
To the Pope.
Oh,
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
About telling him why they should make an exception.
And what did the Pope do?
They got married.
did he respond?
You
but
skipped
not
the
in
whole
Rome.
part.
Not in Rome. But it was in another beautiful town in Italy. My point is she did it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
did the Pope
you
write back?
Julie
Did the
Fabrizio?
Pope write back?
What?
Did the Pope write back?
I don't think he did. But
Okay,
but the
so
fact
that story is complete
no, but
bullshit.
this is the difference between an American and an American.
Dave,
By the way, it's a story of a story that you told, by the way. But
hold on a second.
Yeah.
First of all, I have seen multiple concerts, comedy shows. Let me preface. Comedy shows, let me correct myself, in Madison Square Garden and had zero problem hearing the comics, and that is a big venue.
Yeah.
So I think it's that arena,
Okay.
obviously.
My feedback not correct then, Joshy?
What do you mean your feedback? What was
About
your
having
feedback?
him talk to Jerry.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, I'm still doing this. Yeah.
I get it. But what I'm saying is, Dave made a point that big arenas have this issue, and I'm telling you, not all big arenas do. I've never been in it, so that must ruin the show. If you want to hear,
My goodness, because
80%
everyone's
of it-
laughing, and there was people around me too who are like, "What did he say? What did he?" And the timing's off when you have to.
yeah, you're screwed. Even if you miss, you could get 98%. It's not going to help.
It's not. It was great. And here's the second problem: is when you get two big headliners like that,
Yeah.
they're doing full sets. And
Oh,
they had
yeah.
an opening act, which in the opening act mumbled the worst. I heard 50% what he said.
Oh,
I was just waiting for him. So the show went on for a long time. I have to say,
yeah.
after more than 2 hours of comedy, I mean, Jerry went last, and his stuff is great. I love it. It's right down my runway in terms of
brilliant.
But by that point, I'm like, yeah, that's clever, that's funny. But I was done laughing. I couldn't.
done.
I just can't carry
You're
it that
done.
much longer. So I thought I really.
Yeah, but if you were in the first row, you wouldn't think that. I bet.
I don't know. It was long. I thought it can't too much of a good thing can be too much of a good thing. I think one headliner is enough. I think that's my message. Don't.
What did you
No, I'm not cheap. I got the tickets late.
But just because you got them late doesn't mean you can't get them. You can get them. This whole ticket world now is all about secondary market.
Yeah, but that's expensive. I don't.
It is. Yeah.
So. Anyway, I think if you're going to see a comedian, see one at a time. Two is actually not a good thing. That's my advice.
That is my dream. I saw that they were touring together, and they're not coming here, obviously. And I was like, oh, I would love to see that show because I love both of them. I've seen both of them individually.
Yeah,
live,
I have to. Yeah,
but never together.
I love it, but yeah, I just felt like it was one. Then the Jim went. It was great. He killed.
Yeah. All right.
It.
I think we've all heard enough.
Sorry. How are you, Omar? Sorry.
I am
Runs a tight ship.
Hopeful. I am a little bit less cynical than I was yesterday.
Sound like we're playing a $10,000 pyramid.
Yeah,
hopeful.
That's right.
Better than yesterday.
What a recovering drug addict would say.
I had a really nice week, and I'm always happy to be here with you guys.
Oh, wow.
That's my
so my answer
nothing.
sucks.
I mean, there's a lot of things I could really point to for my happiness.
Okay. Point
I
to
would
one
say
of them.
that, like,
name one.
you know what? Something really beautiful happened to me, guys. So
did a butterfly land on your shoulder? What happened to you that was beautiful?
So I gave this gentleman, I parked my car in San Juan, and I gave him, it was $10 to park the car. and I gave him $20, and I go, please keep it. And I said to him, what's the best spot to park here? Is there? Oh, it's right over there. I'm like, okay. He goes, but wait a second, please. He comes back. He gives me the change, and I go, no, this is for you. So he was already being kind to me, irrespective of like whatever. I go, this is for you, and he goes, what? He goes, because of you. He goes, thank you. Because of you, Christmas starts today.
Wow. That's a beautiful
and Josh,
story.
this is why, the audience doesn't know this so well, but Josh never, hardly ever offers to pay. But when he does, not exactly reaching deep into his wallet, if you know what I'm saying.
That is,
What are you
that's
saying?
beautiful sentiment.
Yeah.
First of all, what are you talking about? That's ridiculous.
You gave him $10.
He's coming guns a-blazing tonight.
Yeah.
No, I love you, Josh. You know that. I love you so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's good. I feel like things are going well. There's lots of hope in this world, and this is one of them. I think we are a beacon to our listeners.
All right.
And it's the ones who are with us today. Then we're very grateful. Eventually, the bandwagon will come when like your uncle or your annoying brother-in-law or sister never really was that cool, but you had to hang out with them because they were part of your family.
The bandwagon? That's not the bandwagon.
No, but everyone will start listening to it. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to say, I was there early. Because Josh and...
Yeah. All right, why don't you tell everyone what we do here, Omar, for those new listeners?
So we are FTS is a group of 3 middle-aged men talking with each other about different things that happen in their lives and looking for advice, guidance, or simple commiseration about how life can be so fantastical, but at the same time so dark.
Ooh.
And we try and poke humor at times, trying too hard. And at the same time, hopefully none of us get canceled. So that's the premise. And then Josh and Dave can talk about the website stuff. It's FTS.
You don't know it, do you? No, it's not.
FTS Media.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Words.
No.
Dots.
No.
Ats. Yeah.
Our website is friends at FTS.media.
Cornered, he goes and makes out with his dog.
It's amazing.
He runs.
He wants the host, but there's that last piece of the hosting equation just can't quite grasp it. Omar's trying to tell you that our email for you to reach out to us is friends@fts.media, and our website is www.friendstalkingshop.weebly.com, and there's a lot of new cool stuff on there, some videos, some new pictures that you might want to check out. So we encourage
Josh, you done a great job with the website. I will
Thank
say.
you. I appreciate
Very
that.
good. Very good.
Yeah.
Can I say something about Josh too that I realized, and even right now I realized it right now too. Josh, you are probably of the 3 of us, you could most likely be a used car salesman. No, I'm gonna Dave, do you want to know why I say that? What? Because like you and I are both incapable of doing, the Deacon whiskey thing, which we love, Deacon whiskey.
Yes.
And
it's
then,
Smoky Sweet and Pete.
Yep. And then Joshy delivers that wonderfully. And then talking about the website and trying to create some excitement by how his inflections of his voice, he tries to do it every time. And you're a perpetual pitchman.
Listen, I want people to go to our website.
Yeah, but my point is, Dave and I.
Oh, he froze. Did he freeze for you,
David? Can I hear you say it like Joshy does?
Oh, you're
Can
asking
you say
a lot.
Smoky, Sweet, and Pete? I want to hear you say that. Smoky,
Sweet, and Pete.
Deacon whiskey.
Deacon whiskey. I can't even remember the phrase. Smoky, Pete, and Sweet.
No, Smoky, Sweet, and Pete.
What difference does it make?
It makes all the difference.
Makes all the difference.
I don't want to sell cars.
Partners there.
It's what our boss wants. He wants it in order.
So, anyway, I'm great. And
yeah, we already knew that. You told us that.
We're past very special.
We're past that. We're at the crux of the show now, Omar.
Okay, so we should go into our thing then, where each of us has a topic. So maybe we'll go with Dave today.
All right.
Or should I go?
You're the host.
What do you want to do? You want to
What
ask
do you
your
think?
dog?
I kind of want to talk about myself right now, but
All right, do it.
All right. Then
no,
pass.
Dave, you want to know what? This is a good exercise for me. David, you should go.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I don't really. This is one. I think what's this 57th episode, and
57.
I walked into this episode thinking I do not really have a
No
topic.
clothes on.
Yeah. No, I have no topic. I couldn't think of one. I was,
Oh,
and I wondered
wow.
what's going on. And so I just had to sit back and think about my life. Like, what is kind of the? Because I can't think of anything really interesting. I was just in Cleveland. Like, there's nothing that really happens that's interesting in Cleveland.
Never anything happens in Cleveland.
You know, all my probably stories of family, shenanigans will be coming up at the holidays here, coming up here soon.
Okay.
But I did realize that there is one really big shift in my life from the last, say, 20 years that has slowly happened to me. And I want to ask you guys how to, I need advice. I need help kind of sorting this out. So,
Okay.
Is it erectile dysfunction?
yeah.
I was rock hard. Sorry.
Oh God.
No. Yeah, I don't need advice for that.
No. Dave's on Jardians.
So I realize I am since I was probably a little kid, I am at the lowest point of my sports fandom career.
Ooh, interesting.
The lowest point. Let's review. And I know some people don't like it when we talk about sports and
No, but we
things
can
like that. But it's more about picking yourself off the ground. It's not about. But a big part of my life is the fact that I look forward to watching my teams play.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it rotates from baseball to basketball to football, and it kind of goes round and round and round. College, everything else.
Yep.
Every single one of the teams I cheer for suck
Yeah.
right now. All of them.
Not
And
the Bucks. Not the Bucks.
Wait. It's Bucks included. So first of all, the Brewers just lost their manager, who is like from Wisconsin. He was born here. There are pictures of him as like a 5-year-old. Well, with all the famous Brewers. Well, he just quit because we thought he was going to go to the Mets. No, he went to the Cubs. He went to the enemy.
And the enemy.
It's like the complete slap in the face. So the Brewers that's strike one.
Strike one.
Strike two is the Packers are awful. They lost
suck.
Aaron Rodgers, who of course blew out his Achilles. Sorry for the boring you, Omar, but so the Packers are 3-6. They're terrible.
They stink.
The Bucks just signed Damian Lillard. I thought there's my ray of sunshine. They're playing 500. They can't figure out how to play together, so they're doing terrible. And
they'll be fine though. They'll be fine. They'll figure it out. It's a long season. Keep going.
We'll
There's
see.
promise there at least. There's no promise
For some
with
reason,
the other two.
Giannis wants to be a point guard, and
Right.
it's just all messed up. And then UW is playing terrible football.
Terrible.
So every team I cheer for, sports is completely out of my life right now. So
does that mean you're not watching?
I'm not watching. I watch the Packers. I have a Packer podcast, so I have to.
What's the matter with you? You're such a bandwagon. Like,
I
Josh
don't like
wants
this.
His team. Josh,
I do not like
please?
this.
Yeah, thank you.
So what do you, I have to watch even though
what happens when
do.
I'm depressed with my life and when I need you?
You do.
Change the channel?
Yes. Yeah, try me. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go all crying on us, Omar, I'm going to change the channel.
I'm out. I'm out.
Yep. I'm out as well.
Only happy Omar.
Dave, you cannot bail. I'm sorry. It's one of those deals.
I'm not bailing. Is not watching bailing?
Yes.
I've talked about this before. I can't stand. To me, losing hurts more than winning feels good.
I hear you.
Right?
I hear you loud and clear. But at least you're still watching the Packers. That's good. I can understand.
Wait, I have a question for you, Joshy.
Yeah.
But when have you ever done anything competitive with Erickson the day before?
Oh, we played volleyball one time. Remember?
Yeah, we played volleyball together.
And was he devastated when he lost?
It was so long ago that we played in that league.
What's really funny is you pulled the net down to hit the ball, and you got called for it, and you were surprised that you're not supposed to touch the net.
Well, I thought I did it sneakily enough that they wouldn't see it.
You yanked it all the way down.
That way. Well, whatever. I got to spike it. I don't have the jumps I used to have. You got to give yourself any advantage you can get.
That was funny. It wasn't a super competitive situation.
No, it was not a super competitive, but we did want to win. I want to win no matter what we play. We were playing against other companies.
Right.
The corporate league.
Yeah, I don't think I lost my cool though, but
no, I don't think you lost.
That's your question. So I don't think we have played anything other than just goof around stuff. So I don't play carpet hockey or other things. So yeah, I don't think we.
Well, you
yeah,
played basketball, right? Didn't I didn't get the chance to play, but you guys were playing basketball.
Oh yeah,
once a week.
we've played
for a little
tennis
bit.
and basketball. Yeah, we've done some
Yeah.
stuff in the office. Yeah, we've played some.
I didn't
So
get
what do
that
you think?
chance.
So you're saying I need to suck it up and stay with it?
I think you need to suck it up. Now, look, on a long season like baseball or hockey, where you got 160 games and 80 games, and basketball's 80 games, you don't have to watch everything. You can take some nights off. I'm okay with that, but you can't bail on it completely, and you have to at least follow it. When the Sixers were horrendous, when they were throwing games, at the very least I was in that box score every morning following the game.
I'm telling Omar, you listen to this. I'm thinking about just permanently making sports like 3 or 4 steps down and not have it come back. Like,
oh my God,
it would it's too volatile for me. I can't control it.
Did it change your health? Are you you're beating your wife and stuff, or breaking TVs?
Yeah, her health is fine. My health is, I don't know. Maybe my health would be better if I wasn't. I definitely stressed out when I watch some of these games. There's no question. I can feel it. So, I mean, it's what the decisions that they're making are so dumb at times. I think, what am I do? I feel like I'm intentionally banging my head against the wall following these teams that make these dumb decisions. So I feel like I don't want that in my life.
We've talked about this, right? The appeal of sports. If everything was great all the time and everything was awful all the time, it wouldn't be sports. And the greatness about it, what's amazing about being a fan, is that you go through the highs and the lows.
I get that.
It makes the highs that much higher to go through the lows. And it's one of those, I said this, I might have said this earlier on a podcast, but I tend to listen to more post-game talk after a loss than I do a win.
Most people do.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those deals because you want to, and I have more chatter with my friends after a loss versus a win.
Actually, I'll one up you on that one. I think we've come to this conclusion. We talk more or listen more to talk radio when it's a good team that lost. So that the disappointment factor is high. If you're a bad team,
I can't do this, Josh. Can we please get him to take off his Corey fucking Haim hat, fedora he's wearing right now before
he's wearing the fedora. I would like to let everyone know. It's like
I'm not saying enough.
He's wearing the fedora that Corey Haim wore when he slept over Michael Jackson's house. Like Corey a dream.
First of all, Corey, you're mixing up your Corys. It's Corey Feldman.
Yeah,
who slept over Michael Jackson's house.
Corey Feldman.
Corey Haim.
That's the hat. Look at the hat.
It would be lower. It'd be better if I could get it over my headphones, but I can't. I have to wear it up high. I look like. Yeah, you're right. The Michael Jackson is actually a pretty good analogy, but
there's no wrong answer to this. Look at David. He's a beaten man, right?
I am a beaten man.
His life is sports, except he's like the Cleveland Indians were until a few years ago, right? It's one disappointment after another.
It really has.
Tired of having others.
It makes you stronger.
Look at him.
This is my point.
Does he look stronger to you?
He looks like Casper.
It's the smooth criminal hat.
The character
gives us
albino.
Yeah.
That's why screen is so bright.
Listen, you can't bail on it. It's something you love. If you want to bail on it just because you don't love it anymore and you've lost that whole edge, I get it. But I have a hard time believing that's you.
Yeah, I'm really struggling.
You're in a tailspin.
I'm in a tailspin, but I wonder if it's also a function of this TikTokization of where everything's immediate. We get instant gratification with shows we watch. Sports is like this outlier that isn't I sit down to watch
it. Great. It's still pure. It's still pure that way. That's what I love.
I view Josh as on the 1 to 100, what's the word I would use?
Rancid?
Classy.
Classy?
Or grace, or cultured people.
Thank you.
Josh is not in the top 50%.
Oh, he was.
You got that right.
You didn't hear the ranking first.
And so, his thirst.
What are you talking about?
And his, tribal nature and guttural reaction to these teams of Philadelphia and, chest bumping his guy friends and grabbing their asses when they're really happy. Whatever this Bucky does, the Eagles fan, you're a much more erudite.
Oh, yeah.
Right, person, right?
Yeah, I agree.
You're highbrow, you're thoughtful, You're pedantic.
Pedantic.
No,
that's a bad word.
I
That's
don't
a
like that
negative.
About your approaches to life,
That was negative.
right?
That's the
You
worst.
just wanted to use
The best and the
pedantic.
worst things they ever said to me. Yeah.
And so my point is, I don't watch sports very rarely now. Part of it's because I live in Puerto Rico. But if I'm at home and the Ravens are on versus like the Browns, I'll watch that a little bit. But the minute I pick up that remote or that battery to throw it at the TV, I walk away.
See, we're onto something here. I think this is going to be a trend nationally. I think as young people age out, I think sports is on a decline. I think
you're wrong.
If you're at a 30-year bet, you short sports.
You're wrong. The numbers don't bear that out.
Well, I think its numbers are up because it's
high.
more global. You think it's more?
So.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I mean, if anything, sports are more ubiquitous, and sports are even more pervasive now than they've ever been.
Doesn't even know what that word means.
Oh, I know what it means. You're
Can
just
you spell
pedantic.
it? Can you spell it? Spell it.
SPORTS. Sports.
Ubiquitous.
It doesn't mean I have to spell it. I know what ubiquitous means.
Starts with a U.
Yeah, it means it's everywhere.
That's right. That's why you don't have to spell it.
Look
it's
at
everywhere.
soccer. Soccer was not even a thing here in the United States. Now it's enormous.
I'm telling you, I think a 30-year bet from now, 30 years from now, you think sports in general will be more popular than this today?
Yes, 100%.
I don't think so.
100%.
Unless you include esports and watching you, I think it's all.
TikTok is a huge part of it.
I understand things are going poorly in the flyover state of Wisconsin.
How dare you?
I get it. But the population of 12,750 there are not going to dictate what happens to sports in 30 years.
Well, 2/3 of the podcast is starting to disassociate from sports here, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's a good point of using us as a representative sample.
And you are 1/3 because your city is in a high right now.
We're on fire.
Yeah,
Never been better.
I hate all of you.
Yeah, it's true.
But we'll see what happens when you.
I'm going to tell you, don't despair, don't give up, keep watching, keep being invested, because when it comes back, you're going to be thankful you did, that you rode through this.
All right. Yep.
And it will.
All right. That's my topic. Sorry, I didn't come with anything, but it's been a busy.
It's a good topic.
Let's come back 30 years from now and see if I'm right.
Done. I'll put it in my calendar.
Yeah, put a task.
All right, Joshy.
Oh, I'm going. You're going to save yourself for anchor position?
Yeah,
that's good, because my topic is pretty short and pretty. So look, this is not really all that powerful. Omar, you can't walk away because I need you on this topic here. In fact, it's almost directed at you, and that's going to sound racist, but you'll see in a second. So,
what a lead-in.
This was something. Yeah, it's a horrible lead-in. This was something. I have a bunch of topics. I keep them on my phone, but this was something I just saw, and I just have to talk about it. And
someone pooped in front of your house.
Someone what?
Pooped in front of your house.
Yeah, deer do it constantly. I hate deer. Deer are like, everyone thinks deer are so like beautiful in the snow. They're giant rats.
No.
They're giant, disease-filled, lime-carrying tick rats.
No.
That's what they are.
I don't.
Awful.
I think they're
creatures.
beautiful. I disagree with you.
Do you get them in your yard?
Disagree.
All the time.
Oh, I can't stand
They're
it.
huge animals.
I actually used to make love to a deer. We had a torrid affair. This is back in my days in Virginia. That's how I first got Lyme's disease, actually.
I believe it. I believe it. And an infection on your perineum. So anyway, I saw this on one of the shows I watch, and I just have to bring it up. It's not really a great topic. It's not really anything that I think we can go into at length. Maybe we can. I don't know. We're going to find out. But I have to just
Is it about fucking deer?
No, it's not about deer.
Okay.
But you brought that up.
It better not be about fucking sports. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it.
Not about sports. So as you all know, I brought it up many times. I watch a show called 90 Day Fiancé. Okay? And it's about, for the most part, there's different versions of it, but the one I watched last night was called The Other Way. So it's Americans that are engaged and eventually become married to non-Americans, and then they go and live in their country. They leave America to go live in their country. And there's this one girl, I think her name's Kelly, I'm trying to remember, but she goes to live with her soon-to-be husband in India, okay, named TJ. And
Racist.
It's borderline, but I'm trying to get a sense on it.
The fact that they live in India is not racist.
No, that part's not racist.
Yeah.
What I might say is not. Let me preface what I'm saying. Not meant to be in any way disparaging whatsoever, but it's something I just don't understand, and I just have to talk about it because I can't let it go. I can't let it go, and my wife's sick of me bringing it up and reliving what we saw on TV last night. But anyway. As you know, with India, and Omar, you're Pakistani, and I'm sure you know Indian culture reasonably well, considering your neighbors, and you could just look over the fence and see what they're doing over there. But they have a shit ton of rituals that they do. And their weddings are like 3 days long, because they showed all this on TV, right? And it is wild, all the stuff they do. And one night in the wedding, they can't end the wedding till someone comes up.
Do you understand that Indians have thousands of gods?
Yes.
Josh.
I know. I've learned this. This is where I'm going with this. You're going to hear where I'm going with this. So anyway, we see all the rituals. We see it's wild. It's like it never ends. They were up till like 5 a.m. the one day of the wedding because they had to wait.
I'm feeling triggered right now.
Yeah, hold on. You're going to feel more triggered in a second. Anyway, they finally get married. She, of course, they want her to move in with the family. She won't do it. She's like,
is she Gori or is she,
what?
Is she Gori?
No, she's a white girl from America.
Yeah, Gori means white.
Oh, is that? I didn't know that. Yeah, she's pretty gory.
Gora means man, white man.
Thank you.
Gori,
yeah,
means white female.
Okay, so she's gory.
You know
right?
what? Do you know what Gora Kutta means?
Yes.
White dog.
Oh, I was going to say that.
I want you to think about why I just said that to you.
He said before he's given us names that mean something else than what it is.
Is that what he's calling me?
They're probably they're probably swear words and go ahead. But go on with your story.
But anyway, so look, all these things they do, it's a little kooky to be honest, but I get it. It's tradition. It's stuff they do. And you're like, okay, that's interesting. You know, the washing of the feet, blah, blah, blah. And then you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they're married. They live upstairs from the family because she wouldn't live in the family's home. She's like, I don't want to live with your family. And that was a whole big fight. But anyway, they live upstairs in an apartment. The mother, this is the day after they're married, comes up. She doesn't speak any English. And she wants to show her new daughter-in-law, her new gory daughter-in-law, how to cook lunch for her husband now, her son. And first, though, she brings up a bowl of cow manure, puts it in the kitchen, and then puts some, like, I can only assume it's like kerosene on it, and then lights it on fire. Okay?
All
This
right.
is one of the rituals. She lit cow shit on fire in the kitchen and then proceeded to take a bottle, looked like a Pepsi bottle, of cow urine and spray it on every door. And the girl's like, she's talking to her husband. She's like, DJ, get your mom to stop putting urine in our house. This is crazy. So I can't get over this. I understand traditions. I understand all that. Everyone's got their thing. This is a little much, is it not? Am I being a little ethnocentric to say, like, there has to be a point where you go, you can't bring cow shit and light it in your kitchen as you're cooking lunch. I mean, she was wiping down the counter where the cow shit was and then using that rag. It was weird.
What was lunch?
I don't know. It was an Indian dish that I don't know what it is.
Before.
So let me ask you, have you heard of this before?
Listen to me. I'll say something to you. Okay, look.
Please.
I am Muslim. Okay.
Yes.
And this is a Hindu thing.
This is a Hindu thing. Correct.
Those Hindus are very, very dirty people.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
No.
Come on, man. Come on.
I'm kidding. I have so many Hindu friends. I love my Hindu friends. My parents and their relatives and
dirty is a word. It means nice.
Yeah, dirty.
I'm kidding.
So tell me.
But I've never
this
heard
before.
This.
It's
I've
crazy.
never heard this before. I never, maybe like an Indiana Jones movie or some shit like that.
No.
not in real life. This sounds like it was some heavily produced bullshit.
You think
Was it
so?
like? Are you sure you were watching Borat?
No, that's what it felt like. Omar, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because it's so funny you said that, because it felt like that. It felt like, okay, what the hell is going on here? Is this real? And I understand the cow is sacred in Hinduism, so I understand that. I get that. But it was crazy. She lit cow shit
No, it's true.
on fire.
You don't
In
think
the
this
Hindu
is
religion?
Are you looking at it?
Cow dung is used in fires for religious rituals such as
See?
the purification of a house or a housewarming ceremony.
Yes.
I thought it was lunchtime.
Since
It was
cows
lunchtime.
are considered to be heavily by Hindus, their
She was
dung is
dedicating the
sacred.
house. Oh.
Now
I
look,
wonder what it smells like. Do you think it smells good?
She said it smells horrific. She was talking in the episode, like she was trying to get her to stop, but she doesn't speak English.
Isn't like cow poop smells worse than human poop?
Listen, I don't want either one of them in my house in a bowl in my kitchen. All right? That's really the bottom line here.
You don't think there are things? I remember when we sent food over to Afghanistan and we dropped, and one of the things we put in there was like peanut butter or something like that, and the people of Afghanistan was like, "What is this? This is gross." We're like, "Well, it's peanut butter," but to them it was gross. So
No question. Right? There's definitely cultural things that we do. First of all, the stuff in my religion growing up, it's batshit crazy. It's just weird. It's weird stuff, and you do it because it's always been done, but it doesn't make it any less crazy. But you're right. Across different cultures, there's definitely oddities where even some people would find it completely normal, and others would look at it and go, "Are you crazy? That's nuts." But you can't tell me that's not. Come on, that's nuts. To sprinkle cow urine on your doors, door in your house.
I think it doesn't. She is coming into their culture.
Yes,
if that is a tradition, their culture. I think look, I feel like a hypocrite that I can't suck up my team's losing, but I think you kind of have to suck it up for the ritual of the culture that you're adopting. Like,
all right,
she thinks she was gonna.
Let me paint a scenario for you.
All right.
You get married to somebody, different culture, different background. Right. Part of their ritual is your new father-in-law gets to kick you square in the nuts once a month.
Are they still together?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're still together, but it was last night's episode, so they had just gotten married. We had seen the whole build up to the wedding and to the marriage. So I don't know if they're still together today in real time.
Josh, I want to tell you something. I could never be married to you.
That's a good thing.
Well, I thought about that the other day.
I mean, yeah.
You thought about that?
I was thinking Dave
would
be a better partner. Dave, I bet you're a much gentler lover.
I'm sure I am.
Omar, would you accept that if you married someone from a different culture and part of their tradition was to kick you square in the nuts every month? Would that be okay with you just because it's a different culture? Sometimes it's not acceptable to say.
I thought that's literally the definition of getting married. Isn't that what happens? But it's the wife.
I set you up for that one.
Yeah.
Well done.
But
you got there's certain parts where you draw the line. Come on.
I don't know. I think if you
come on,
a ring.
What?
A ring.
The
buying of the ring.
Don't get married.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say it's you.
Yeah.
And that's a scenario, and you go through all the rituals of your soon-to-be spouse or your spouse, and then one of them is that they like to light cow shit in the kitchen on fire in your house.
How often?
I don't know how often. It was only on the episode last night. I don't know if it's going to happen again.
I think that's just to purify the house. If it was a one-time thing, I'd be respectful.
Shit does not purify anything.
No. You know, my best friend used to keep his dog's balls in the freezer.
What?
I swear to God. This is for 8 years.
What ritual was that? Is that good luck?
Balls.
Please tell me it was in a baggie, not just
loose.
loose.
A Ziploc bag.
All right, thank God. You
They
don't want
live
loose
on
balls
forever.
just in the ice.
They're still there. They're still there today, actually. They're still there today.
That's ridiculous. Why is he doing that? Why?
Because he loves him, Josh. That's why.
That is not a demonstration of love. I'm sorry.
I disagree with that one. Yeah, I'm not going.
It's not a demonstration. Some
Josh,
things are not
do you know
okay.
what love is?
Huh?
Do you know what love is?
It's not that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do it, and it's not testicles in a freezer.
tribute.
Otherwise, Jeffrey Dahmer is in love with a bunch of people.
Well, look at my hat. For listeners, I have a picture of my doggy on my hat.
Yeah, that's very different.
But you don't have a piece of him in your fridge.
Oh boy. I don't know if we're gonna get an answer to that. That's a crazy show, and it's a good plug for the show. That is,
the show's phenomenal. It's
entertaining. Yes, it really is.
But all I'm getting at is, I think that that you don't have to be accepting of every single tradition of. That's a horrible. You know what I'm trying to say.
Well,
I'm trying to say there's a line. That's all I'm saying. There's a line.
I think what you got to do as a married couple is you got to communicate. And what you both have to work it out. Like the mother-in-law shouldn't have gone up. That shouldn't have been the first time you found out this was coming.
Well, that's the other thing. She had no clue that was coming. She had no clue that was about. He should have said to her, "By the way, my mom's going to bring up a bowl of shit."
Heads up. Yeah, that's
right.
Then they could have dealt with it. Right.
Right.
But
exactly.
I'm sure production was like, why don't we keep that on the down low until she comes upstairs? So
I think production probably loved it.
Yeah,
loved it. It was
definitely loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Omar, would you accept that? I know you. There's no way you would allow a fiance to sprinkle cow urine on your door.
I don't know, man.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
I kind of like it.
Get out of here.
If it was a one-time thing.
What if instead of that it was to smear cow shit on your door? Would you all right with that?
On the outside or inside?
Inside.
What kind of door is it?
It's patio.
It's on the handle or the knocker?
It's a slider. It's a patio slider, glass.
Oh, it's easily wiped off.
Okay. Would you allow it?
If it was important to her, yeah.
What if how about if it was important to her to smear cow shit on your pillow?
My pillow, that's a little obscene.
Why not? It's a cultural thing.
I mean, I have slept on dog poop before, so.
All right, we're getting to a weird place here. I'm gonna call it time.
All right.
I think it's time for Omar's topic.
No, when Lou was going through a difficult time, right, towards the end.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
I think. Listen, I don't think I want to sleep on dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wanted to. I'm saying it didn't kill me.
Of course it's not going to kill you.
Made him stronger. That's the theme of the podcast. Maybe you got to put up with stuff and it makes you stronger.
Maybe that's the theme.
Maybe that's the theme.
All right. Maybe
Omar,
I'm looking at it all wrong. Omar,
can you bring us home?
Yeah, take us home here.
Oh, do you guys see yourself as leaders?
Sometimes.
Good question.
Not in every situation.
Certain circumstances, I would say yes.
Okay, good topic.
I don't necessarily see myself as one, but I do think as I'm, through a lot of trial and error and a lot of, luck, I'm beginning to see like a real, how do I say, utility and sense of power in this thing that we're building, my team and I, and then I was like, what's the best way? I like to think about things in what's the best outcome, and then how do you work backwards? I mean, when I'm able to think with my rational parts of my brain, which is not often. And so, what's the best outcome that could ever happen that's beyond, and then work backwards? So. As we're building this thing, which some of our listeners know, or some don't, it could become a real force of good, if you will, globally, without going in any boring, excruciating detail. And then it hit me, and I want to show you guys, if I could, a little picture to give you an idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I can't get a hold on what you're saying.
Do you know who this is?
Yeah, that's Patrick Dempsey, the new sexiest man alive.
Yes. So do you know how old he is?
Yes.
He's
87.
57.
I don't know how old he is.
He's 57.
Oh, it says that. It says it under the picture.
It's on the article, yes.
And so my point is, I'm 51, and I told my team, I want to be the sexiest man alive at 57. And if we get that done, I'm giving you, and I said, a very large bonus. And the reason why I said that, what was that? What'd you say?
2% raise? Is that what we're going to give him?
All right, get that off the screen so I can see you guys again. No, I gave a real number.
Because my point is,
Omar.
What was that?
Get that off the screen so I can see you guys again. I don't want to be staring at Patrick Dempsey.
Sorry, I thought I had it all. Yeah. My point is, I said, if this thing works, this will get to the point where we'll be globally recognized as doing something good. Mm-hmm. And then, so I want him to get me to be the sexiest man alive. Do you think that's a powerful way of leading?
Wait a minute.
Or do you think this is an exercise in my narcissism?
This is the craziest topic I've ever heard in my life.
You're working backwards. Is the end result is you're on People Magazine's most sexiest
because this thing becomes such a force of good. Yeah. You see?
Okay, so let me just fill people in on what he's talking about because no one has any clue what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, Omar started a new venture.
Yes.
And it's taken off, right? It's done very well. It's got legs. It looks very promising. And that's what he's talking about. That's what he's referring to. So he wants the people who work for him
work
with him at this venture, very flat structure, at this venture, to make him the sexiest man alive by age 57.
Years to tell him he's the sexiest.
No.
Them lots of money to tell him that he's the sexiest man alive. Guess what's going to happen?
No. I want People Magazine to vote me.
Oh, you actually want to be on the cover?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the issue with that, if I may. All the people in that magazine are, what's the word? Famous. Yeah. You're not famous.
Is Patrick Dempsey famous 6 years ago?
He was.
6 years ago, yes. He was famous. He was famous 30 years ago, actually.
He's Dr. Dreamy, isn't he? Or whatever?
Yeah, but he's also been in movies since he was in his 20s.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Potato. My point is, they've had other people win who didn't know. No one knew who The Rock was 6 years ago.
Yes, they did.
That's a bad example, but
another horrible.
I see what you're saying.
George Clooney.
You're setting your sights high.
Yep.
And
why don't you go for this? Why don't you go for sexiest man in your building?
I don't think it's full of geriatrics.
That's attainable.
Hey, there you go.
That seems attainable.
And guess what? You will.
It's like I'm in a scene in a cocoon. Without the pool, but still the swimsuit.
It's called baby steps, Omar. You're trying to go to the moon with one jump. You need to take baby steps. Yeah. First step, sexiest man, floor 7 of your condominium. There you go. You conquer floor 7, you move on to the whole building. You conquer the building, you move on to your town.
But hey, if he sets his goal high and he undershoots, he's still massively successful. So is that still although I think
we are massively successful.
But
that's the point.
We're not at all successful if you become sexiest man alive. I don't,
yes, you'll be unbearable.
Yes.
I guess people will listen to
a lot more joy in your dark world of your tribal guttural sports that you only have in your life.
I'm closer than you are. I was just on TV.
To the dismay of your wife, who you haven't paid attention to on a Sunday in the fall in 30 years.
What are you talking about? We just went to a show together. We had a nice weekend in Atlantic City. We've been doing a lot together.
Josh is a romantic. Have you? I have to hang out with you guys. I hope that happens soon.
You can hang out with us.
Yeah, you can.
Definitely.
You gotta come to flyover country.
I want to have some of her desserts, if you know what I mean.
I hope you mean stuff you eat after the entree.
Talking about the cornbread, or what was it?
The cornbread.
Or what is it? Not cornbread. What is it that you give your plumber? I keep going back to the.
You know what I'm going to say I'm grateful for during Thanksgiving, though?
Pound cake.
Pound cake.
You give your plumber pound cake.
Ready, David?
Yeah.
What I'm going to say I'm grateful for in a few weeks is that we haven't been burdened with one of Joshy's, him and his friends renting Airbnb weekend stories anymore.
Oh, yeah.
You get them twice a year.
God.
You get them twice a year.
You'll get it again. It was so far away. It's been so long.
You'll get it again.
One's coming up. God damn it.
And they're going to be big ones, too, because we all 50.
David, can we implement a rule? He gets one a year.
No.
We have no, listen, if we had to put rules on things, we'd be in trouble.
There's no rule.
You're going to have, again, you have to suck it up. That's the theme of the podcast. Got to suck it up.
That's how it works.
Losing teams.
Yeah.
Urine on door handles and Josh's weekend getaways with his buddies.
Think about this. We've done 57 of these episodes. 57. So we've come to the table each with 57 different topics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Eventually we're going to run out.
I think I might have been there.
And that might have been today.
I have so many things. I could have talked about last week, our time in New York together. How special that was.
That was.
You did. You did last. You talked about that last episode.
What?
Yeah, you did.
Post event?
Yeah, you talked about it last episode. We talked about a photo shoot. We talked about everything.
No, that was Chick Mission.
That was New York. You said our time in New York.
We haven't spoken since
Sword of Damocles.
Our event. The event.
Your event.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Yes.
I wasn't there. Thank you.
Yeah, it wasn't there. That was me and you.
Well, it was still special. You were there in spirit, my friend.
It was very nice.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I was busy here in St. Louis watching my teams lose.
Yeah.
Didn't feel special at all.
I have to say, Josh, I had some questions for you from the listeners.
Go ahead.
Why are we still doing this?
Doing what?
Somebody asked me that. Another question. What's the demographic of our listeners nowadays?
A lot of goras.
A lot of white
men. Yeah. I don't know what our demographic is.
What was our number one country outside of the U.S.? It was
I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
It wasn't Norway. It was I have to look it up. It was like Romania. I think it was Romania.
Romania? Yeah.
Yep.
So we're making our rounds. We're it's slow and steady wins the race.
After this one, we might have lost some Romanians.
This is not going to do us any favors.
And I can't imagine anyone in India is going to be listening any time soon.
No, I pretty much cut that whole market off now, and I apologize to all my Indian brothers and sisters.
Anyway.
All right.
Well, Omar, are you going to bring us home here?
Yeah, that's right. So, you guys, we want to let you know that we are discussing having a live podcast session at some point. It might happen in the next 6 months, pending what the fates of the gods are.
Oh, a live one would be neat. We could have maybe like a call-in. People can call in while we're actually recording. I don't know how we
do that. Or the audience
cool.
just ask questions.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah,
a little simpler. Yeah, Josh.
We could use some emails. Help move this podcast along if we got a couple.
That would
emails.
help too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't want your listeners' emails. Don't send any. They're usually
we're happy.
Yeah, and they're fanboyish, and we get enough of that stuff anyway.
There you go.
But we want to thank you for putting up with us for God knows how long it's been on this call, and I apologize for my colleagues' mediocrity. Smell you later.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.